about ready whenever you're ready.
Okay, so I might screw it up, but are you just going to keep it rolling? So do you,
Mm-hmm.
would you just want me to restart my answer?
Yeah, I just, one other thing I would say to you is a lot of times students will give an answer and then they'll emote with their face. They'll react to what they said in a positive or a negative, usually a negative fashion when they say something they don't like. And just try and keep a straight face for at least 2 or 3 seconds and then say, I need another take, or that sucked, or that was great, or whatever you need to, if you need to say something.
Gotcha. Cool.
So we've been starting just having everybody do an introduction of just telling us your name, your major, and what your small group is this semester, which for you is Computer Science Pod.
Yeah.
So tell me your name, your major, and what your small group is at UT this semester.
Yeah, so my name is Cameron Reynoldson. I'm I just looked at the camera.
It's okay.
It's okay sometimes if you just glance over for a second, don't worry about that.
Yeah, so my name is Cameron Reynoldson, and I'm a computer science major here at UT Austin, and my current small group is my computer science pod.
Tell me a little bit about some of the concerns that you had about transitioning from high school into college.
So my biggest problem coming here to, So my biggest concern coming here to UT was whether or not I would find my passion, and I've heard all of these stories about kids not being able to find their passion here at UT, especially for computer science. It's like you either love it or you hate it, and I was worried about that. So when I got to my small group, in this case my computer science pod, I had found out that my mentor had already been through all of the worries that I had, and he could give me insight and help me with the problems that I'm having now that he already had last semester.
Tell me something about how your small group helped to facilitate your transition to UT. What was good about the small group?
Hold on, let me look real quick. Okay, ask again.
Tell me a little bit about how your small group helped to facilitate your transition to UT.
Yeah, so my small group helped facilitate. So my small group helped facilitate my transition to UT by setting me up for success. So one thing that my mentor always did was have a lesson planned out for things that he wished he learned his freshman year. So all of the problems that I'm going through right now, he's had his freshman year, and he's setting us up to be able to conquer those problems. And another big part about having a small group is the fact that we get reserved classes. So all of the stress of registration and getting the right professor kind of goes away because you get these reserved classes for good professors. And that could just make the difference in GPA that may land you your future job, which is definitely worth it.
Tell me a little bit about some resources you found on campus this semester that were helpful to you.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about some of the resources on campus you found this semester that were helpful.
So one of the best resources I found on campus is the abundance of assistance and peer mentoring and tutoring and, hold on, what did I say? Sorry about that. Okay. So one of the best resources that I've found on campus is the abundance of assistance and help that everyone's willing to give. So whether it be Calculus Lab, peer mentor, So one of the best resources that I found on campus since coming to UT has been the abundance of assistance and help that people are willing to give. So whether it be Calculus Lab, peer mentoring, tutoring, or even our pod session, I'm trying to find a good way to say that. Like I'm listing them off, but peer tutoring, that's what it was, mentorship, okay. So one of the best resources that I've found since coming to UT, what resource did you find on campus that helped you transition into college? Okay. So one of the best resources that has helped me transition into college is the abundance of assistance and help that people are willing to give. So whether it be Calculus Lab, peer tutoring, mentorship, or group study sessions, whenever I have a problem or something I can't solve, I reflect back to my study sessions or my pod sessions, or whenever I was being tutored by another peer, and more than likely, I'll remember that, okay, that's a really dumb answer. Well, like logically, like I was saying, I could remember any answer to a problem just because I was in those. But I'm trying to say like I can solve a lot of problems on the tests or whatever the case may be because I've more than likely found the solution from some other session I've been in. So what I did say was one of the best resources on campus that has helped me transition to college has been the abundance of tutoring and assistance available for all subjects, whether it be calculus lab, peer tutoring, mentorship, or group study sessions. The extra help definitely serves as a catalyst for grade improvement and overall understanding of the subject. I can't tell you how many times I figured out the solution to a problem on exam solely because of something I remembered from one of my small group sessions. Okay.
And don't feel like it has to be exactly what you've got written down either. I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
You can be as extemporaneous as you want, and sometimes it's that spontaneity that brings out kind of a new facet to the answers too that can be helpful.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about a resource that you found on campus that was most helpful for you in your first semester.
Yeah, so one of the best resources that I've found on campus that has helped me in my first semester is the abundance of assistance and help that people are willing to give. So whether it's calculus lab, peer tutoring, mentorship, or group study sessions. What did I say right after that? Crap. So one of the best resources that I've found on campus since coming to UT that's helped me transition into college is the abundance of assistance. So one of the best resources that I've found on campus. So one of the best resources that I've found on campus since coming to UT is the abundance of assistance and help that people are willing to give. So whether it's calculus lab, peer tutoring, mentorship, or group study sessions, the extra help. What did I say?
What I would suggest to you though is, even if you flub a word or something, which we all do, and there's going to be takes that we're going to keep of some, because you flub words, it's not big. If it's one word, who cares? Just plow through it because you're starting to enact these memorization skills, just the repetition, instead of stopping like, seems a sentence or two in. I know sometimes you get to a point and then you forget what you're going to say. That would be one of my only suggestions.
And you can also, like during the answer, if you need to pause for a second and think about what's coming next, that's fine too. I mean, with the editing, who knows what kind of bits and pieces, how they're going to be used. So there may be portions, even if it's something as short as just the first couple of sentences, getting through that and then kind of thinking for a second, and also this part kind of thing. So whatever works.
So one of the best resources that I've found on campus since coming to UT has been the abundance of assistance and help that people are willing to give. So whether it be calculus lab, peer tutoring, mentorship, or group study sessions, the extra help definitely serves as a catalyst for grade improvement and overall understanding of the subject. So I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a test and I've remembered the solution to a problem because of what I've remembered from one of my past group sessions. So this definitely serves as a lifesaver, having these small group sessions.
Great. Okay. Did you feel good about that?
It was good.
Okay.
Did you feel okay about
You
it?
had like 1 second where you would have stopped before, but
Yeah.
you picked up your momentum, and people aren't really even going to notice it. So
Okay.
that was really
If you guys want me to change anything, just tell me.
No,
that
I
was
think
really
it's
good.
And having some of that stuff in there also just adds, it adds to the naturalness of it. Like people can relate because like, oh yeah, I mean I would do the same thing. It's just how we talk. So
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how your academic advisor helped you this semester.
Okay, so this one's a little more natural. Okay. So the academic advisors here at UT are amazing. At the beginning of the year, I was a little bit overly ambitious, and I signed up for 2 history classes on top of 5 other classes that I already had. And about 2 weeks into the semester, I realized that the reading assignments were a little bit too much for me to handle. So I immediately jumped to go visit my advisor, and he was nothing but helpful. He offered a ton of solutions to, get through the problem that I had, and a bunch of resources, to set me up for success for my first semester. And I can't tell you how much easier my semester is now that I went to my academic advisor. And a lot of kids are scared to go to their academic advisor because they feel like, oh, I'm going there to get help, I should be able to figure this out on my own, but really they're just here to help you. Like, they're on your side. They're here to help you have a better semester and set you up for success. Am I talking a little bit fast?
I don't know. It's fine.
It
Okay.
sounds fine. It
All right.
doesn't sound like super speedy.
We have a professor I'm working with right now who talks very fast, and so that's like my immediate reference point. And so I guess I don't know. My sense of people talking fast is sort of distorted at this point. Go ahead. You sound great.
Okay.
It's totally fine. It sounds on par with how everybody else has been speaking.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about a self-advising tool that you used this semester, whether it was maybe running an interactive degree audit or downloading your degree plan and reviewing the classes you need to take, mapping out your semesters to graduation. What's something that you did to advise yourself on what steps you need to take next?
So wait, does this count, the degree plan checklist
Yeah,
thing?
definitely.
Okay. So one self-advising tool that I found super useful was the degree plan checklist. Not only was I able to check off all of the credits I already had, but I was also able to plan out my next 4 years. So I could figure out exactly what classes counted for what core requirements and get that whole worry of registration out of the way, which made everything a breeze.
You good with that?
Do you guys feel good with that?
Yeah. You
I mean-
gave us enough space after you looked at the camera at the very end.
Oh, yeah. Gotta be careful about that.
Tell me a little bit about a positive faculty or TA interaction you had this semester, whether it was in the classroom or in office hours.
So one positive interaction I've had with my TA or professor has been with my UGS professor. So a lot of us have been struggling on our final essay, and he took note of that and made class time.
Can I make one suggestion?
Yeah.
Every time you start, you're saying so.
Yeah.
If you can.
Not say
cut
so,
that out.
yeah.
Because we don't want every time we cut to you in the video, you start so, because then
Mhm.
people gonna,
Yeah.
that's
Looks
what-
kinda funny.
Yeah, so.
I almost said so. One positive interaction I've had with my TA and professor has definitely been with my UGS professor. So a lot of us have been struggling with our final essay, and he took note of that. So instead of taking class time out, he made an extra study session outside of class to help us get ready for that final essay and kind of help us answer questions or get feedback that normally professors wouldn't give unless it's in their office hours or 5 minutes before class or whatever the case may be. So he took time out of his normal day and out of his research time to kind of help us and help his class succeed, which I think is great.
That's right.
Good.
This is one of those kind of open-ended questions, but tell me something that you discovered this semester, whether it was trying a new class, joining a club, the greatest restaurant in Austin, any of the above.
So something I've recently discovered is the idea that you shouldn't, I looked at the camera. All right. Something I've recently discovered is the idea that you shouldn't procrastinate. So, hold on. I had it. I've recently discovered that you shouldn't procrastinate in college, ever. Most kids think that when you're coming here that you can, use the habits that you had in high school and kind of put things off and procrastinate and get ready for the test like a few hours before. But that doesn't work here. So, wait, what was I? I'm trying to get my thoughts together.
Yeah, sounding good.
You're sounding good.
Yeah. Okay. I've recently discovered the idea that you shouldn't procrastinate in college, ever. Most kids think, including myself, oh, it's just like high school. How hard can it be? Well, the answer is very hard. The tests are harder, the homework is more frequent, and the exams count for a larger percentage of your grade. While it's important to have fun in college, it's also important to remember why you're here and take advantage of the opportunities that you're given.
So, bridging off of that, where you're talking about kind of adjusting from high school to college, tell me a little bit about how your time management skills have they evolved from the time you left high school to the time you came here?
Yeah, oh, I was about to say so. My time management skills have definitely evolved since I've gotten here. I start homework assignments the day they're assigned. I start studying for tests the day the material is released. So one good practice to have is to start studying the day that you get the new material. So study an hour a day maybe, and an hour a day, will lead to a better grade on the test instead of cramming the whole night before, which I've done recently, and it definitely is not a good option. One, there's a lot of stress involved, and two, it doesn't always reflect a good, or it doesn't always end up in a good grade.
That's great.
Was that great?
Yeah.
I felt iffy about that answer.
No, it felt good.
Okay.
It seemed very natural.
Okay.
Do you want to try it again, or you feel okay with it?
I mean, I'm okay with it. I just want you guys to,
Yeah.
because I know sometimes there's some things that you want the person to say, but you can't really tell them to say it.
Well,
In this case, you can tell me
right.
if there's something you want me to say.
I think we're looking for, I mean, there's definitely a bit of both those things, but at least I'm looking for kind of more of an honest answer to the questions. But depends on what your answers are. So.
I mean, we're looking for honest answers to the question. If it's your experience, then I think that's what's going to feel most natural and come across to the students who are watching it. So as long as that's what we're getting, then that's fine.
Yeah,
And that,
okay.
that sounded honest. Was it honest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely.
You're like, yes, I have crammed in the last week.
Yeah.
It did not pay off.
Nope. Not fun. Is the next one the surprise?
Mm-hmm.
Awkward silence.
You're fine.
You want to drink a water?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Mhm. What surprised me most during my first semester was the average level of intelligence here at UT. So things are
Don't let it stop you. Just
I'm like used to like doing that. Okay. What surprised me most coming here to UT was the average level of intelligence here. Things are obviously much different in high school, but I was expecting them to be the same level of hierarchy and intelligence and average, okay. What surprised me coming to UT was the average level of intelligence here. So things are obviously much different in high school, but I was expecting the same level of hierarchy for intelligence and dedication, but I was obviously wrong. So, okay, what's a good way to derive from that topic. Because what I was going to say next was that's why I encourage students to, reach out to their peers, because more than likely they're going to be able to offer some sort of assistance, because, they probably know something that you don't.
Yeah.
But,
Just say that.
okay.
That works. That totally works.
What surprised me most coming to UT was the average level of intelligence here. So in high school, things are obviously much different. But here I was expecting the same level of hierarchy for intelligence and dedication, but I was obviously wrong. And this is why I encourage students to reach out to their peers and reach out to their friends, because more than likely, you're sitting next to kids that were in the top of their class. So they're going to be able to offer some sort of assistance, and more than likely, they're going to know something that you don't that might help you sometime in the future. Good.
That's great.
Okay.
You feel good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me some of the best things about being a part of a small group of other freshmen in your major.
Without a doubt, the best part about being in a small group, okay, so are the small groups, are they meant to be with kids that you share classes with?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
that's always the case?
It's when everything goes according to plan. Yes, that's always the case.
Okay,
So,
'cause I don't-
It's typically students who are grouped by major and then have the same or similar classes together.
Okay, because that kind of,
And I think with you guys, with CS Pods, do you have linked classes with everybody in your group? Or most people in your group?
a lot, yes. Our pod is, we have a pod for the entry level class, we have a pod for kind of the middle class, a pod for the honors class.
Mhm.
But there's two different classes for each.
Okay.
So we're either in one or the other. So we'll
Gotcha.
have half the kids in there.
Okay.
But yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we're just asking here about when I'm talking about small group here, specifically the group that you meet with every week in that UGS 018 seminar you're with Bar?
Yeah.
And Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that weekly group that you meet with, what are the best things about that?
So without a doubt, one of the best parts about meeting with a small group, being in a Without a doubt, one of the best parts about being in a small group of other freshmen is the fact that we're all so unique, yet we all share the same goal in that we want to pursue our passion and succeed here at UT. Oh, what was my other bullet point? Crap. Without a doubt, one of the best parts about being in a small group of other freshmen is the fact that we're all so unique, yet we all share the same goal and that we want to pursue our passion and succeed here at UT. Without a doubt. What did I... Being in a small group. Okay. Without a doubt, one of the best parts about being in a small group of other freshmen is the fact that we're all so unique, yet we all share the same goal and that we want to pursue our passion and succeed here at UT. So, what? Okay. Being in a small group, especially being in a small group, okay. Without a doubt, one of the best parts of being in a Without a doubt, one of the best parts about being in a small group of other freshmen is the fact that we're all so unique, yet we all share the same goal in that we want to pursue our passion and succeed here at UT. Being in a small group, especially with kids in the same classes and the same major, helps tremendously because you never know who you're going to meet that could lead to opportunities in the future or help you with an assignment that you've been struggling with or help you prepare for a test that you thought you were doomed for. Good?
Yeah.
You good with it?
Anything that you want, any answers or any of them that you want to change?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm going to loop back to a couple of the first questions, and I think you did a few so's with those, and so I'm going to ask you to just answer those again, and we'll take the so out.
Okay.
And then we'll end with a question about advice that you might give to other freshmen.
Could we have him give his title again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
tell us your name, your major, and what small group you were in this semester.
Do I just say CS pod, computer science pod?
Computer science pod.
My name is Cameron Reynoldson. I'm currently a computer science major, and my small group is a computer science pod.
Tell me about some of the concerns that you had about transitioning from high school into college.
My biggest concern from transitioning to high school to college was the fact that I might not find my passion here at UT. I knew I had an interest in computer science, but I wasn't quite sure that I loved it yet. And I heard all of these horror stories about how you either love or you hate computer science, and I didn't want to be the ones that hated computer science. But being in the small group that I'm in, the mentor that has helped me has given me insight to all of the problems that I've had my first semester because he had them last semester. So he's setting us up for success in the fact that he's sharing all his solutions to the problems that we're having now because he's already had them. That wasn't too confusing, was it?
No.
Okay.
How did your small group, that weekly meeting group, how did they facilitate your transition? How did they help to facilitate your transition?
My small group helped facilitate my transition into college by setting me up for success. So my pod mentor always had lessons planned about things that he wished he had learned his freshman year. So whenever we have a question about something that they're not teaching in our classes, he already has a lesson planned to help us understand that. So not only are we getting ready for the, what was the rest of my answer? Somebody shows. My small group helped us or helped me?
Either. If it helped you, but if it helped everybody, that's fine too.
Okay.
However it comes out is fine. But yeah, you can say my small group helped me.
My small group helped My small group helped me transition into college by setting me up for success. So every week he had a lesson planned about things that he wished he learned his freshman year. So I may be having a problem one week, and the next week he's already got a lesson planned out to, solve that problem, or not solve that problem. Okay. Always had a lesson plan that covered something that he wished. My small group helped me facilitate my transition from high school to college by setting me up for success. So 1 week. My small group helped me facilitate my transition from high school to college by setting me up for success. So he always had a okay. My small group helped me facilitate my transition into college by setting me up for success. My mentor always had a lesson. Do you mind if I plug this in? It's like at 1%.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So how's y'all's day been?
Oh, Winnie Friday is a good day, my man.
Not if you have a test Monday. But I guess that's what Saturday and Sunday are for. Oh,
You're right.
Got
We
it.
have so much going on up here. We can't expect you to remember. That's why there's two of us.
forgot about that. Okay. Wait. Testing, testing. Good? Okay. Is the framing still okay?
Framing is great.
Okay. My small group helped facilitate my transition from high school to college by setting me up for success. My mentor always had a lesson planned on something that he wished someone had told him his freshman year, which is exactly what we needed. Someone to show us the path and set us up to complete the trail ourselves. Another great thing about having a small group is the fact that we get reserved classes. So we don't have to have the worry that at registration, we're not going to get the professor we want, or we're not going to get the class that we need to complete our core requirements because that class is already reserved for us. And it's a good thing to have because that difference in professor might lead to a better GPA or a better, just overall grade for that class and understanding of the subject, which might lead to a future job in the future that you might not have had otherwise. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Or okay.
What's the best piece of advice you would give to somebody who's coming in, one of our new freshmen next fall? What would you tell them that would be helpful?
This is a good one. What if people said, so I don't say the same thing?
I've heard of all kinds of different things. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, you
Even
should
if
just,
you
you should
repeat,
just.
I don't think it's.
Yeah, just say what your experience has been.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because whatever your experience has been is going to be unique from everybody else's that we've heard so far.
Okay, I know what to say. I'm trying to find a good way to say it. Okay. What was the question?
What's a piece of advice that you would give to one of next year's incoming freshmen?
So one piece of advice that I would give to next year's incoming freshmen would definitely be to take advantage of the opportunities that you're given. Now, this might be to join the club that you might not have joined otherwise, or to reach out to a peer that might know more than you, or to reach out to a professor, or whatever the case might be. So for me this semester, I felt behind being in the introductory computer science course, but I came across a kid who's already interned at Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and I asked him, how'd you do it? And he was like, okay, if I tell you, you're gonna have to work hard and you're gonna have to work all semester to get ready for next semester for job interviews and stuff. So we've worked all semester. He's been giving me problems to solve, things to learn, things to do outside of class, and although it does take time, it's definitely, it's gonna pay off, hopefully. Dang it.
It was good. It was
I
good.
know. I don't want to. Because I don't want it to be like, oh, it's definitely gonna pay off, and then be that kid. Dang it.
You don't want to jinx yourself.
Okay. Okay, I can do this. What was the question?
What's a piece of advice that you would give to an incoming freshman?
So one piece of advice that I would give to an incoming freshman is definitely to take advantage of the opportunities that you're given. So whether it be to reach out to a peer that might know more than you, or to a professor, or to join a club or get a leadership position, I think you should definitely take advantage of it because it might lead to something in the future that you might not have gotten otherwise. So this semester I felt behind being in the introductory computer science course, but I reached out to someone who's already interned at Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and I asked him, how'd you do it? And he was like, okay, if I tell you, you're gonna have to work really hard this semester and you're gonna have to put in a lot of time to get ready for next semester and get ready for job interviews. And I was like, sure, I'll do it. Anything to get an internship. And so he gave me a ton of problems, a ton of things to learn outside of class. And although it does take time, I think it's definitely gonna be worth it in the future because it's leading to opportunities that you probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise within that same year. So I think it's definitely important for freshmen to take advantage of the opportunities that you're given because once, at the beginning of freshman year, it's all a snowball effect. So you might get a job your freshman year, which leads to a job your sophomore year, which leads to a job your junior year and to your senior year. And that might not have happened otherwise had you waited till your sophomore year to kind of get your feet wet and get in the job interview game. Cool.
How do you feel about that?
Good.
Do you want to try it again, or are you okay with it?
Are you okay with it?
Let's do another take.
Want to do one more?
Okay.
Alright.
Was there anything you didn't like about it?
No.
Take the so out at the beginning.
I said so. No way.
I think it's fine in this context.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's unnatural.
I mean, if you want me to do it again, I really don't mind.
No, either way is fine.
Let's do another take.
Okay.
We like what you got, but we always like to have options, so.
Okay. Yeah. True.
What is the piece of advice that you would give to one of next year's incoming freshmen?
One piece of advice that I would give to incoming freshmen is definitely to take advantage of the opportunities that you're given. So whether it be to reach out to a TA or to a professor or to a peer that might know more than you, or to join a club or a leadership position that you might not have joined otherwise, I think you should definitely do it because it might lead to future opportunities that you might not have gotten otherwise. So coming into this semester, I was a little bit worried because I was in the introductory to computer science class. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get an internship for next semester because most of the stuff that they ask you in the interview questions comes from the class after that. So I reached out to a kid who's already interned at Google, Facebook, and Microsoft, and I asked him, how'd you do it? And he said, okay, if I tell you, you're gonna have to work extremely hard. You're gonna have to put in a lot of time after class. And I was like, sure, I'll do it. And so we worked all semester. He was giving me problems, giving me things to learn outside of class. And although it took a lot of time, I think it'll definitely pay off in the future because I might not have been able to get an internship otherwise. And getting an internship or getting a job or landing any opportunity your freshman year is important because it's a snowball effect from there. So one opportunity your freshman year looks great because they're like, oh, you were a freshman and you did that? So it'll lead to something your sophomore year, you have both. So now it'll lead to something your junior year. And I think that's something that you might not have gotten otherwise. So whatever the case may be, I think a freshman should definitely take advantage of whatever opportunity they're given and make the most of it.
That was it on that.
Cool.
That was great.
Nothing else you guys want me to read you?
I don't think so.
No, well, as far as that type,
Just in general.
In general?
do you have an interaction with a TA or something?
No.
I know you did the advisor, but do we
We
have,
did the.
for us TAs, do you think we have enough responses?
Do you want to try? Should we do one more about the faculty, the UGS professor?
I mean, it was just my professor. I haven't done anything with any TAs, if that's the question. But
That's fine.
I can try to.
Do you have a?
Say
how many
something.
takes we did about did we do two?
Yeah, the most we've done with him is 2 takes, and usually
Okay.
most of his have been 1 take.
Pretty
So,
slow,
yeah.
I can try to say something about a TA.
Unless you've actually done it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Then never mind.
Did we do discovery?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there any advice you want to give as far as meeting other students on campus when you first arrived here?
Like, encourage them to meet as many people as you can.
Or just how you went about doing that? Was it through joining groups? This may not be a good question. That's just kind of what I'm trying to.
I'm just trying to think of an answer that's somewhat different from what I've already said.
Yeah, you covered a little bit.
Anything to
since we
look out
answered.
for, like any advice freshman, something to look out for that they might not expect, I guess?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Let's see.
Or something that maybe you caught you off guard that you didn't realize.
Yeah. Ooh. Hmm. Let's see.
Anything about Boston culture? I know you came from elsewhere, right? But didn't your
Yeah.
parents recently move?
To Round Rock,
to
yeah.
Round Rock?
Where are you from?
Dallas.
Okay. What a Dallas people.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we got
It's either Dallas, Houston, or Austin.
Did you have big classes in Dallas?
No, because it was like a suburb in Dallas, so we had kind of like a small school.
How
with,
was that transition from small classes to huge classes and all of that? Is that kind of overwhelming and everything, or how did you deal with that?
I mean, I don't think it was overwhelming. I just wait. Okay? So you
No,
want?
you're fine. Yeah, you're fine.
I don't think it was. I'm trying to phrase this so I can say it on camera. But yeah, I don't think it was overwhelming. I think it was just, it's a different experience. You're not going to know everyone in the class. The professor might not know you, probably won't know you unless you go out of your way to meet them. I don't know. It's a different experience because some classes you might have really small classes, other classes you might have really big classes, and it's just a different experience, and it's something that you have to get used to because you're not going to be able to know everyone in the class. You might not be able to know the professor or the TA, and that's something you have to adjust to. But I think it's okay because it's good to meet some people in the class. It's always good to meet other people in the class because they can help you study, they can help you get ready for the class, they can help you get ready for the tests. But you're not going to know everyone in the class, which is okay. And that's kind of obvious.
So does the small group helps with that, right? Because you see a lot of consistent faces and everything.
Yeah, so the small group definitely helps getting ready for the class and getting ready for homework and tests and stuff because a lot of the faces that you see in your small group, they're already in the classes that you're in. The pods and the small groups are designed to help you with that. They're designed to put people that are in your classes in a small group and gear you up to do homework together and to study for exams together. So other kids might, everyone comes from a different background, so someone might know the solution to one problem that you might not have just been trained to think of. So you might not have known to solve a problem like that, or you might not have known to approach a problem like that. And I think it's good because, you have all these people come together from all of your classes who offer completely different insight, who can help you succeed in the class and help you get ready for job interviews or get ready for the next exam. And everyone collectively working together kind of helps get you ready for that because everyone offers that's kind of the point of studying in groups because everyone offers different insights. Someone might know how to solve one problem and someone might know how to solve another. And if you didn't know how to solve either, well, now you know how to solve both as opposed to spending 3 hours trying to learn the same thing. And I think that's a good thing. I don't even know if that answered your question.
It did.
Excellent.
That was
Yeah,
great.
it was good.
Yeah.
Also, I guess could you, speak about, imagine if you were a freshman and you weren't in a pod, like how, some of the struggles that you might have encountered by yourself versus, by yourself not having any kind of support versus having the support of your small group, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, okay. So I think if I wasn't in my small group this semester, I definitely wouldn't be as ambitious to, go out of my way to learn new things and to overly prepare for the exams and to try super hard on my homework because you're not surrounded with kids that are already doing that. So the fact that there's other kids around you, going out of their way to learn new things is kind of influencing you to do the same yourself. In a sense, it's almost like a mini competition. You're like, oh, my friend here is going out of his way to, do this. Now I have to do that because we're in the same class and it doesn't make sense for me not to do it. And it's just, everyone doing that together and kind of racing towards the same goal helps drive you to success and helps drive you to get that job that you might not have gotten or helps drive you to get you know, an A on the exam that otherwise you might have been okay with a B, but now that you know that your friend might get an A, you're like, okay, I got to get an A. And so you all study together and you all get an A. And it's an awesome feeling because you don't always expect for things like that to happen. And coming into the semester, I didn't think, oh, I was like, okay, I'll go to this small group session. You know, what's it really going to do? They're going to tell me a few things. I'm going to go back to my dorm and study myself anyway. But really, we all go there together and we all study together and we all work on our homework together. And in our pod sessions, we're all learning the same things because we're all in the same pod session. And we're all in the same class, so we're all working towards the same goal and we're all helping each other reach a higher goal than we would have done before on our own.